Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I am in Stranded: Alien Dawn and I've been playing it for a while now. You lead a group of survivors who have crash landed on an alien planet and you manage them, and there's a whole bunch of things involved. So what I thought I would do is put together some beginner's tips, things that I wish I had known straight away which would have made my life a little bit easier. Okay, let's get started. Storage is a bit of a challenge. If you click on a shelf, say for example, it gives you two tabs, the overview and the restrictions. And you can see here that it allows you to select different items that can be stored in these locations. Now this is important because certain items will degrade if you leave them outside or if they're not in a refrigerator. So what you can do is you can manage your storage by selecting the items you want kept in particular places. It's really useful, and then combine that with the overview where you can select store here first, which means that those items will be put in that location first. Some items are better stored outside, so it'd be construction materials for example. Now even these will deteriorate, but to solve that problem all you need to do is put a ledge above them. So if we go up a level here, top right hand corner, you can see we have put a, well, I've put a wooden balcony above them, and this means if you click on it, it gives you a little bit of integrity, and that's 100%. And then if you click on the unit, you can see provides storage space and the integrity is 500. Now if these are breaking down, that integrity will go down, and you'll also have a little bit of info there under roof under the integrity section. So just that ledge protects your goods from deteriorating. If you go to the manage section and then click on activities on the tab there, what you'll get is a option to go to simple priorities or ticked or crossed. So you can either show the numbers or you can just show the ticks. And when you have the numbers up, what you'll see is your survivors, your people, you can put numbers in each section. When you put a 1 in a section, say under craft here for Daniel, and it's the first one in the row, it means he will set a priority to craft. So number 1 is a top priority, and then tailoring is next. So Daniel is really in the community here, in the survivors, he is the kind of key crafter. And you'll notice that I haven't put anybody else at 1 because I want Daniel to do it because he is the best. And when you hover over that number, it shows you the list of your survivors and the numbers that they have attached to that particular skill. So what you can do is make sure, like I have done with Emmeline, is I've put hers the number 1 cook. She's got 6, which is the highest. And we have Connor, he's very good at scavenging, so we've put him as a priority to scavenge along with Jack. And then we have Rita, who's really good at harvesting. She is number 1. Now these skills are maxed out at 10, so it gives you an idea of how good each of them is. So you can prioritize and you can make things run more smoothly, and you can sort of guarantee that you'll make the most of your resources by doing this. When you first crash on the planet, you don't know anything about the flora and fauna. If you click on, say, an animal or a plant, it gives you the option to research them or observe them, and then that way you learn about what they are. This enables you to farm them. So if you click in the farm tab on the bottom, it gives you a list of the types of crops that you have access to. If you click on a crop like the buttermelon, and then you go to plant some of these in a field, what you need to look for is the growth quality. And when you do that, when you look at the details for the square that you're hovering over, it shows you a percentage growth. So here it's 75% growth rate. which is pretty common. But what you want to try and avoid is growing these plants in areas where the soil is only going to give you 50 or 40%. If you can find some areas that give you 100%, then that's really lucky. But generally it's 75%. But make sure that you do put them on areas where the soil is at least 75% growth. When you first crash land on the planet, bits of the ship come down with you, and they are scattered in amongst the landscape. You can click on them and select scavenge, and then there are 6 phases where they can scavenge from that particular piece of debris. Now once you've done that and you research salvage, you can then salvage from those, so you get 6 opportunities to salvage from the same crashed piece of debris. So you can extract quite a few resources from these particular items, and the resources that you find in there can be very cool. Like you can find weapons, for example, or you can find power cores or microchips, and you will always get some scrap metal, which is handy for smelting. So make sure you scavenge the space debris around your proximity as soon as you can. It will allow you to move forward more quickly. Make sure you keep an eye on your survivor's clothes. So when you click on one of them, say let's click on Connor here, it brings up the information screen. If you hover over his name, it also brings up what they have equipped. So it gives a little list with the icons there, but across on the left hand side you can see that they have clothing. Now this clothing has an integrity, much like the other items, like the construction materials we were talking about earlier on. Now these will run down, so keep an eye on it. And the reason is you need to be able to set up a tailoring bench here in your base, where you can have one of your guys, remember Daniel is my crafter, making clothes to replace these ones that wear out. Otherwise your survivors will start wandering around naked, and of course this upsets them. So and it's also a question of them being more vulnerable to attack, and there are lots of benefits. They need clothing. You just got to be prepared to make stuff before it wears out. So it's a really handy idea to equip your survivors with tools. One example of that, and an early one in the game, is the harvesting tools. Now Rita, as I showed you earlier on, is assigned to harvesting, so this increases her speed by 20%. These ones are pretty easy to make. You make it on the wooden workbench. The workbench, you can make that out of scrap metal as well. And then when you go to Rita, you just click on the slot in the inventory. It pops up with a list of things you have available, and you select that, and then she will equip that item and is then more efficient. And there are other items that you can make. If we go to the bench here, you can craft tools, weapons, and you can create things like earplugs if they're being disturbed in their sleep, or umbrellas to protect them from getting wet, which really annoys them, not surprisingly. So there are a range of things which kind of specialise your characters, and especially ones that are doing particular tasks which need these items. And another example of that is the night goggles. So that's quite a good one for the people who have guns when they're firing at the enemy during the night. Defensive towers are very useful. Clearly you need a range weapon for them to be really effective, but you generally start with a laser pistol, like Jack has got one here. And if you click on Jack and then click the draft, and then right click up the top of the defensive tower, he'll go up there and then he will fire at everything that's aggressive within range. And it means that he doesn't get hit very easily, unless of course he's fighting something that's flying or something that shoots. So these are a must-have when you're building your base. And the final tip, which may not seem a beginner's tip, but it really is, and that is you need to get your hot air balloon working. This is a question of doing the correct research, If you click on your research desk and then click on the research button, it will give you a list, and it appears pretty quickly in the scheme of things. You can click on the Research Technologies tab and it shows you what you've researched. But when you get your balloon up and ready, and you can just put it next to your structure, it doesn't get attacked or anything like that, it's just a balloon there waiting. What you then need to do is get some fuel. At the moment I've only got 6 out of 30 in there, and I need to prioritise making some fuel. But when you're scavenging from the ships in the beginning of the game, you will find a fair amount of fuel. And that means that you can send off some expeditions into the planet. And when you click on the balloon and click on the expeditions compass tab there, it reveals areas that you can go and explore. Landing pod debris, or just the general explore, fly your balloon off. Now this will quite often allow you to discover new technologies, and they're called technological breakthroughs. You can see here there are some on the right hand side, and those open up better technologies, and sometimes you can even find other survivors that you can bring back to your base, and they will join your colony. So have a focus and try and get the balloon going. Once you've got the balloon up, you're kind of past the beginning stage, and you're now in a situation where you can expand out. So guys, I hope you found those tips useful. If you did, leave me a comment. If you've got any questions down there as well, click the thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed already, it'd be awesome if you could. I'm really enjoying this game. I hope you do too. I will see you soon.